You know, traditionally, enlightenment is thought of happening for meditators at that moment in between the in-breath and the out-breath. There's a space in between the in-breath and the out-breath when enlightenment can crack the egg most easily. Like if you examine your breath, you inhale, and you feel at the end of your inhale, there's this kind of a quiet time. And as you exhale, at the bottom, there's sort of this little bit of a quiet time. And so the idea with most meditative techniques is you expand this period in between the in-breath and the out-breath to allow, greater possibilities for expressing and discovering who you are. So anyway, in Tai Chi we do the same thing in between each movement. So here I'm gathered, I'm yin, and as I move, I'm expressing, I'm pushing, the energy's moving, out goes, now I'm fully expressed in this movement, and now there's the transition where my spirit is just stretching out and now it starts pulling back. The spirit's starting to pull back, which pulls my movement back in. And we're back again to the inside of the foot. The outside of the foot. The spirit is expressing itself. We soften. Now the eyes soften. I'm very peripheral, relaxed. Now the eyes start to focus and lead the movement. And now the eyes start to soften, etc. The torso remains upright. Nose points to one knee or to the other. Good. Okay, so there's the yin and yang of the eyes. We have yin and yang of the feet, yin and yang of the hips, yin and yang of the torso, turning this way, that way, yin and yang of the eyes. Let's look at the Lao Gong point and include the Lao Gong point. Now, Lao Gong point is when you fold your hand over, right in the center. Now, this point is one of the most important in our Tai Chi, because this is the opening to our body's physical energy expression. For instance, when you go to shake hands, you press this point against somebody else's and you exchange energy back and forth. When you grab something, it's here. When we push something, pull something, it all has to do with this particular point right here. Now, when we are yin, when we are receptive, this point retreats inward slightly. There's a hollowing in the center of the palm. When the chi is manifested, when the energy comes out, it presses outward. Now, if I had I don't know if you can see this here, okay. So this would be yin, and this would be yang. My finger is going to go a little up and down. So yin is a softening. And you see at the same time the fingers soften. See, the fingers lose their firmness. They're a little firm always, but they basically lose most of they're sort of soft and receptive. Now, When I go to express this, the energy charges up the center of the palm. The center of the palm expands. At the same time, the fingers expand and firm. They're not hard, but they're firm. There's yang. Then yin is gather. This moves inward. Yang, it opens, and this moves outward. So each movement has this bonk, bonk quality to it of the Lao Kung point. So if we were doing our movement here, say we were just doing this little brush knee movement, here we've gathered to the inside, the hip is closed, the eyes are softened, there's a softening quality in here. As the energy starts to thrust from the outside of the heel, the hip starts to open, and my eyes start to focus, and this point gets activated. At the very peak of the movement, that point is as active as it's going to be. It's very full. My spirit is expressed, the Shen. That's the end of that movement. Then it starts to transition. It starts to soften and draw back in. My eyes start to soften and move peripherally. The energy starts to move inward and downward, back into the center. Moves into the inside of the foot. Okay, so this feeling of activation of the Lao Kung point is very important for our basic Jin expression. Now, Jing or Jin or Jing is the physical expression of energy. Energy can express itself in many ways. Just like I said, there's this spiritual energy, the Shen that comes out. This is my awareness, my consciousness comes out. But also this energy can make itself expressed in other ways, like it can be hard, like a fist. Yeah. This hard Jing. I've made this Jing hard, or flowing or receptive, or if you're say you were giving somebody a massage, you would want to have this sort of a nice Jin, soft receptive Jing on the bottom of the hand in order to manipulate the skin or other layers. So Jing can do a lot of different things. It can pull, push, it expresses itself. And it expresses itself basically through the Lao Kung point mostly, and through the Lao Kung point has a back also. So this point has a front and a back. And we do a lot of things with the back part of the Lao Kung point. We neutralize things. We move things with the back. Okay? So this Lao Kung point, very, very important to tie this in. So I highly recommend practicing. But you must always understand what you're trying to do. What is this action? When I put my hand forward, am I grabbing something? Am I touching something? Am I poking something? Is it just moving around for no reason? What is this hand doing? And once I know what this hand is doing, I can coordinate all these inner energies to make this action complete and conscious and fun and interesting. Okay? So Tai Chi, people come to the Tai Chi, they love it. Oh, this is so beautiful. They think that this is all, the old people in the park doing these lovely movements. And this looks easy. And it is easy to do it like this. But to put in all these other elements that we're talking about, very difficult. It takes many, many years. I say minimum 10 years till you start to feel comfortable with putting these other elements in. But what else do we have to do with our lives? 10 years is nothing.